What up?
What's up? How's it going, man?
Good. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm very, very good. Thanks for joining us. This is fun.
Thank you. It's been a minute since I've been live.
I know, yeah. Welcome back.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and how are things? What's going on?
Good. Really good. The album just came out, obviously. Um, yeah, I could finally chill a little bit. Actually, never mind. I've been doing promo nonstop. Um, and yeah, no, everything's really good.
Yeah. Where are you in the world? Where are you calling from?
I'm in New York. I'm here for another day, and then I go back to LA.
How long have you been away from LA from? That's been a little while, right?
Probably like 2.5 weeks or so. It's not like crazy long, but
Yeah, 'cause you're usually there most of the time. It's home, right?
yeah. It's home. So whenever I'm not on tour, I'm there. Do you ever come to LA?
Yeah, I've been a few times. It's good
Okay,
fun.
sweet. Wait, where are
Yeah.
you at?
We're in London.
Sick.
The
Hell
power of
yeah.
technology. Yeah, so basically we've gathered some questions and we've asked a few of your fans if they have anything for you to answer. So
Sweet.
let's kick off.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I want to kick off with a fan question. It's from a girl called Divya who asks, "Are you taking care of yourself?"
I was literally just talking about the fact that I need to start exercising again because I haven't worked out in probably a year. It's so bad. So I'm not really taking care of myself, actually. Not doing a good job.
Mentally, though, you've got to be like, this must feel like a really exciting time for you. Like
Yeah,
everything's
I guess
coming out.
mentally I am. Like I've been meditating really consistently and like watching, I don't know, just trying to, it's become really important to me to take care of myself. So yeah.
Yeah. Does it sort of seem strange now that your baby is finally out there in the world?
I know, it's so crazy. It feels so good though.
Because you've sort of been like waiting for this moment for a while now, right?
Yeah, I mean, because I put out a whole project before, and but I didn't really want to call it my album, and I feel like this is the first time that I've like really put everything into it. Like it's not just one vibe. There's so many different vibes, and yeah, I'm just fucking stoked.
Yeah. Yeah. Why did you sort of? What was it about this that sort of felt like the album?
I just think it's like the first time that I'm really showing like my fans in the world like every part of who I am, and not just one part. Like I felt like before, I was almost like I fell into this character that was that now is actually one of the six characters that are part of the new album creative, but I felt like I was very boxed in before, and I kind of was like with the album I was like, no, I don't want to be playing a character. I want it to be like like this is like all of me, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And I think it's interesting how like I guess men in pop music are like you say very often boxed in, and what you've done is you've created these like multiple characters to channel all this stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, do you want to explain that a bit about that to anyone who sort of hasn't
yeah,
seen
well,
and
you know what,
responded yet?
I actually have the album. I have a vinyl right here.
Ah,
Bam.
available in all good music stores.
Right. So basically the concept is there's like six different versions of me that are all like basically I created like I'm calling it a one man boy band, and they're
Yeah.
all like different vibes. Like you have hopeless romantic, existential, positive, fuckboy, goofy, and spicy. And the whole concept is about like embracing every part of yourself, and like not being just like one thing. I think like especially with social media, everybody talks about having like a personal brand, and I think
Mm.
that um, I just think that people, or at least I feel this way, are more complicated than that. And I think like we need to be able to embrace, not being boxed into just one part of our personality. Like
Mm.
when you're a kid, you don't really think about you just act however you act. And so, yeah, the whole album is like, the music is super diverse. And yeah, we like shot a whole content series of like the boy band moving into a house together, and like yeah, it's just fun.
Yeah. When did you settle on? Did you? Well, you had to settle at some point, but when did you settle on 21 tracks? Because it's quite a. I mean, it's a massive debut album, but
I
it
know.
moves along.
I literally can't stop focusing on this. Oh my God.
I'm sorry, I just want to sort of sit like this for that's all right.
Oh my God. Well, originally it was gonna be 15 songs, and
Mhm.
then I don't know. I was just like, I probably wrote like 50, and I just kept trying to like narrow it down and narrow it down and narrow it down, and I just couldn't. And I got to the point where I was like, okay, here's 21 of my favorites. It like seems like a good number, I guess.
Yeah. Is that a lucky number? Do you have a lucky number?
I don't think I do. Do you have a lucky number?
I feel like everyone has seven. Is that just a really
Yeah,
predictable?
seven's like a
Yeah,
classic.
you know, seven or 421 and all that stuff. Yeah. I've got another fan question. A fan called Sanya asked if you would ever want to collab with Harry Styles.
I mean, that would be amazing. Yeah, I've met him like once or twice, and obviously he's unbelievably talented, and I love what he's doing now. I think it's super cool. So, yeah, that would be sick.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What sort of like what conversations do you have with Harry Styles?
It's honestly just been in passing. Like, I think we played a show together, and I saw him in the hallway right after he got off stage, and it was just kind of like this mutual, like, yo, what's good? And yeah, that was pretty much
Yeah.
it.
What kind of music would you make with them? Would it be like a ballad? What's the situation?
I don't know. I never really go in like planning what happens. So I have no idea. I think it would be cool to do something that's like a real kind of 50-50 combo of like what both of us are doing, you know? I wonder what that would sound like. I just think it'd be interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You're like collab king right now. Albums
I
full
didn't
of
even
like.
mean to do so many collabs. I had no plan to do that, and I just kind of along the way, I love just letting things happen naturally, and along the way, I just kind of like met people, and then was like, hey, do you want to do a song together? And yeah, so it's really cool.
So it all came together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another fan called Arman asked, were you ever scared to pursue a career in music?
Definitely, definitely. Um, I went back and forth a lot. When I was a teenager, I started writing songs and I was like, I don't know, 12 or something like that. And it was like back in the MySpace days, which I don't know if anybody remembers. But I did like a lot of like self-promoted stuff, and like me and my friends like played in bands, and we would book our own tours, and we would play to like zero people or like beg our friends to buy tickets. And we did like years of that, but it never really worked out. So then I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm not meant to be an artist. And then I was like, when I was in college, I was just working at studios and trying to write and produce for other artists, and that wasn't even really going anywhere. And then I kind of just made my first song as Lauv, um, just kind of out of nowhere, and I thought it was going to be a side project. And over time, I just started to love it more and more and more, and realized like that's why started making music in the first place. And then I just kind of like gained confidence. But like I go back and forth all the time. Like I have days where I've had times where I've totally wanted to like fully quit or just like pull out and like just like literally shut out from the world and just make music in a fucking cabin or something. But I definitely get scary sometimes.
Yeah. There's like there must be like a huge amount of perseverance to like keep going with stuff like that. What advice do you have for people who maybe are sort of at that moment, I guess?
Yeah, I think I've realized that I think like where I set myself up for failure is when I try to set my path for success based on things that other people have, you know, or like classic ways that you consider somebody to be successful. I think that drives you to be unhappy. And if you're unhappy doing what you love, you may end up giving up. And I think like it's sort of up to you, you know, like if you put in the time and you're making something very genuine and honest, like there'll be an audience for it, you know? And because we're all human, and if you're connecting through the human experience, if you're making something that's like human, I think there's people out there who will relate to it. Um, so it's like, sorry, I could pause for a second.
You're all
Um,
good.
for me, it's just like really listening to myself and being like, what matters to me as a person, like not even just in a career, but like in life, and just following that and like just trying to be genuine with it. And I think that that kind of like maintains your longevity as a creative. And sorry, this is really long-winded, but yeah, I don't know,
All good
maintains your
stuff.
happiness, which is essential because it's a long path, you know, it takes a
Yeah.
lot of hours and a lot of time usually. I mean, some people they just blow up out of nowhere, but um, yeah, so yeah, I think just maintaining happiness and genuine
Yeah.
vibes.
Yeah, yeah. I think a huge message of this album that runs through it is sort of being very frank and open about your headspace and how you're feeling. Hence the
Yeah,
name of the
yeah.
album. Yeah. Do you sort of think that young people's words are taken seriously or seriously enough right now?
It's interesting. I feel like that's a complicated question. I think there's a lot, there's a lot more conversation if we're specifically talking about, like emotions and mental health. I think there's a lot more conversation. I think there's always, room to grow and like more action to be taken, because I think it's the first step to be talking about it, to be opening up about it. Like, for example, like I started like my foundation and like my goal this year is like instead of just like talking about it and hosting events and trying to raise money, I actually want to meet with an organization in every city that I go on tour and like learn like what they're doing and get educated as to like there's a lot of people out there who are doing amazing things and trying to get educated and figure out ways to help and um but it starts with talking about it and yeah, I think that's important.
Do you feel like you're still learning?
Yes, always. I feel like you have to feel like you're still learning for your entire life.
Mm.
Like one of my best friends, he actually really honestly kind of saved my life. He taught me he actually made me a spiritual person. I never used to be spiritual at all growing up. Like I grew up with two scientist parents, like non-religious, not like I didn't really believe in any like energy or anything like that. But, as I've gone through hard times, um, this guy came into my life and he taught me how to meditate and practice gratitude and in spirituality, and it's honestly totally saved me. And wait, where was I? What was the original question? Where was I going with this?
Are you still learning?
Oh yeah, and one of the things he says to me, he's in his 50s, but he always says to me like, I feel like spiritually I'm a baby, and I think that's amazing. Like to always feel like you're growing and learning and you don't know everything, that keeps you like, I don't know, hungry for life, and it keeps you like growing and always doing something new and having fun. So I think it's important to feel like that.
Mm. You've got lots to choose from on this record. How often does your favourite track on it change?
The feedback on the album.
No, the your favourite track on the record.
Oh, to
How
be
often does it
honest,
change?
Modern Loneliness is my all-time favorite in the album. I don't think it'll ever change. But other than that, I don't know. Yeah, I think it does kind of shift a bit depending on my mood. But so many of the songs mean like so much to me, and I'm just like, it's the first time that I've put out a bunch of songs that I feel like should be singles at the same
Mm.
time, and now people are like gonna have to like choose between them, and it's kind of weird.
Have you figured out how how it's like live playing for live stuff? Are you excited about that?
So excited. Yeah, I feel like these songs, I've been playing a lot of old songs for a long time, and we like made a whole new production. I'm incorporating the one man boy band thing on stage. It's gonna be crazy. There's dance moves. There's really chill moments. It's just me and a guitar. The songs like in rehearsals, like they go off. So it's gonna be really cool.
Yeah. What's sort of been the most rewarding part of this whole process for you?
The most rewarding part, honestly, was just making the album. Like I had so much fun making the songs because I used to make so many songs that were like sad and like I don't know. And I feel like there's some really fun songs on here that just like I will treasure the moments of being in the studio forever. They just were like such a growing experience for me. So
Yeah. We've got time for one last question. I
cool.
wondered, you have the opportunity to teach everyone in the world one lesson. What would it be?
Ooh. Um, honestly, to not be ashamed of vulnerability, I think would be the big thing. I mean, there's a lot of things, but that's probably the most important to me is like trying to inspire vulnerability, because that's something that has been really empowering for me, and I think can connect people a lot more on a real level, because that's really the only way you get to make real friends and to get to know each other deeply is to like share real shit with each other.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just think the world needs more of that. So yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so
Sweet.
much, Lau.
Thank you.
Have a great day, and it's been so good to have you.
Yeah, thank you guys so
Yeah.
much. I appreciate
No,
it.
yeah. Have a good day.
Hey, bye.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Yeah, we'll be back soon. Like we said, like if you have anyone else that you want us to chat to, drop a comment or yeah, get in touch and let's make this a thing. It's going to be fun. But yeah, have a good day, guys.